Manchester United are out of this season's Champions League. We did not make it to the round of 16. We got knocked out by playing RB Leipzig and losing to RB Leipzig 3-2. This result and this knockout is solely down to the manager. I'm not hearing anything else. Guys. It's solely down to the manager. Let's discuss what he got wrong. First of all, our formation under this current manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is 4-2-3-1. We know that. That's his favorite formation, is 4-2-3-1. That's how he sets up his teams most of the time. He changes from 4-2-3-1 for this game and he goes to 5-3-2. Now people can say it's a back three, people can say what they want. That's a back five, guys. That's a back five, it's not a back three. When you've got Wan-Bissaka as one of the wing backs, Wan-Bissaka can't go forward. He doesn't have the ability to attack. So how are we calling it a back three? It's a back five. We saw tonight against Leipzig, it was a back five. We were pinned back, it was a back five. That was the first mistake. His formation was wrong. He changed from 4-2-3-1, a system and a formation that the players know and understand. He goes to a back five and we don't know what we're doing, because he doesn't coach these boys how to play a back five. We change our formation to suit RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig has the ability to change from 3-5-2 to 4-2-3-1 to 4-3-3. That's how they play, guys. So we changed to suit them, to suit their game. And when you're a big team, you never do that. The opposition must adapt to how you play. It's not the other way around. Do you ever see Real Madrid and Liverpool and Bayern Munich going into a game and changing their whole formation because of the team that they're playing? You never ever see that. When you see Liverpool and Bayern Munich playing football, you know how they're setting up. Liverpool sets up 4-3-3. That's how they set up. Bayern Munich 4-2-3-1. They do not change their setup. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for the biggest game of the season so far, where we needed to go through to the next round, he bottled it, he changed the formation. The guys did not know what they were doing. Wan-Bissaka completely lost. Luke Shaw completely lost. Wan-Bissaka had no clue what to do. He was the poorest player on the pitch. It's like he never played that position before. He has, but that's what it looked like. He never played the position before. Angelino had Wan-Bissaka on toast. On toast. The formation the manager got wrong. Then you look at the second thing that the manager got wrong. His substitutions. How does he take off Alex Telles and he leaves on Luke Shaw, knowing that Luke Shaw just came back from injury, knowing that Luke Shaw cannot complete a full game because he's not fit enough, because he just came back from injury? How can you take off Alex Telles and then 10 minutes later you take off Luke Shaw and you bring on Brandon Williams as our left back? Brandon Williams, the boy is not even good enough to be on our squad. He should not be anywhere near Manchester United. That's why we bought Alex Telles. But that's the substitutions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made. Then we are losing the game. We need to score goals. He brings on Fosu Mensah and he brings on Twanzebe. We need to score goals. Our manager's bringing on defenders. You tell me if this is a sign of a manager that understands what he's doing, because you and me as fans, we won't even make decisions like that. We need to score a goal. Everyone knows when you need to score a goal, you bring on attackers. He brought on defenders and he needs to score a goal. Then he tells us in his press conferences, he said, we are going into this Leipzig game, we are not going into the Leipzig game looking for a draw. We're going for the win. This is Manchester United. We're going to attack Leipzig. We're going for the win. But he sets his team out with a back five and with two holding midfielders. So we had 7 defensive players and only 3 offensive players. But he said we're going and attacking Leipzig. We're attacking Leipzig with 3 attacking players and 7 defensive players. The manager is lying to you and me. Continuously lying to us. because he says one thing and he does the total opposite. This is a negative manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a defensive manager. And he's a very poor manager that should not be anywhere near Manchester United. There's a reason why when he was at Mulder, no one wanted him. There's a reason why. There's a reason why when he came to Cardiff were 1 point above relegation. They were safe. When he left Cardiff, they got relegated. They finished 20th in the league. There's a reason why. These are the mistakes he made. Formation was wrong. Substitutions were wrong. There was no in-game tactics. There was nothing. We did not know how we were approaching this game. What was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics for this game? What was it? Because no one knew. No one knew. Why is he playing Scott McTominay and Matic in the same team? How can you play those two players? Why not play Donny van der Beek? You play in a back five. You play in a back five. At least play Donny. You can't be so defensive like that. That you want to have two holding midfielders and still a back five. These are the decisions that this manager made. He costed us this result today. It's him. Now guys, we've watched the whole game. Look at Leipzig. Their current 11. Not one player comes into our starting 11. And you can even argue majority of those players will not even make it into our squad. But look how they played us off the park. Look how good they looked in possession and out of possession. Look, when they had the ball, they knew where their fellow teammates are. Without even looking, they knew Angelino's making a run. Let me pass it to the left wing. They knew that. You saw the 1 and 2 touch football that they were playing. They had a better style of play than us, and this is a team that has players that will not even start for us. We've got much better players, all the way from our keeper to our strikers are much better than RB Leipzig's players, yet they played us off the park, guys. So it's not down to players. It's not down to players' ability. A style of play and moving the ball well, playing good football is not dependent on the caliber of players you have. It's dependent on the caliber of coaching that you have. RB Leipzig showed us, guys. They showed us. They don't have better players than us, but they got a far superior manager than ours. A far superior manager than ours. And that 5-0 win that we had over RB Leipzig a couple of weeks ago, that was a lie. That was never a 5-0 game. Rashford came on in the second half and changed the game by himself. But that was also down to RB Leipzig's poor defending. That was not a 5-0 game. If you can remember, the first half RB Leipzig played better than us. And now you can see it once a 5-0 game. Because they beat us when it mattered most. When it mattered most. And look here, guys, I was listening to Paul Scholes and Rio Ferdinand talking about the match. And one thing I always stress to you guys, we cannot take in any information that they are giving right now. You can listen, guys. You can listen like me. I listen because I want to see what they're going to say about their friend Oli. But I will never take in any information because they are biased towards Oli. When they were speaking about this game and how we got knocked out, they never not once blamed Oli, guys. They never not once said Oli got it wrong, Oli said the wrong team, nothing. They still said Manchester United, they got asked the question, what's missing at United? And Rio Ferdinand said Manchester United need a plan. They need a plan how they're going to play. But Rio, you can't say that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been 2 years now, 2.5 years in the job. And he still doesn't have a style of play. He still doesn't know what system he wants. He doesn't even have a formation, guys. This is a manager that's 2.5 years in the job and he does not even have a formation. I'm sorry, but Oli is the biggest problem right now that we have at Manchester United. Forget about the Glazers. Forget about Ed Woodward. This got nothing to do with Ed Woodward. It's down to the manager not being good enough. This manager needs to get sacked because we are not going to go to the next level. You see the caliber of players that we have. We've got top class players where on any given day they can get you a result. That's what top players do. Top players on any given day they can win a game. but there's no sustainability and there's no consistency, because consistency doesn't come from just you being a top player. Consistency comes from a system, you playing in a system. That's how Liverpool, when they versed Wolves the other day, they beat Wolves 3-0, and they beat Wolves playing a young right back, a young centre midfielder, and a young keeper, and they beat Wolves 3-0. 3-0. Playing 3 youngsters in their squad. Injury stricken, without Van Dijk and without Gomez, without Trent Alexander-Arnold. 3 youngsters they played, and they played like Liverpool. Why? Because they've got a system. We've got a manager that's 2.5 years in the job and still doesn't have a system. Still doesn't have a system. It's unacceptable. At this current level, it's unacceptable, and any club would sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because right now we got kicked out of Champions League and we're now going to play Europa League. I'm sorry, but that should never happen to Manchester United. Man for man, we are better than RB Leipzig. We've spent more money than RB Leipzig. We should not be going out of the competition before RB Leipzig. I'm sorry, that should not happen. If it does happen, the person to blame is the manager. Carlo Ancelotti said that the buck stops with the manager. And this is one of the GOATs. This is one of the greatest of all time managers. He said the buck stops with the manager. It's the manager's responsibility to get results when it matters most. You can remember when we watched Chelsea in one of the cup games last season. It was a semi-final, and Ole changed his formation from 4-2-3-1 to that 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it. But he changed his formation to go 5 at the back against Chelsea, or 3 at the back, whatever you want to call it, against Chelsea. Chelsea were playing that formation and they understood that formation to the T. We weren't playing it, but only in that semi-final decided to change his formation and go head-to-head with Chelsea with regards to similar formations, and it costed us and we lost the semi-final. And if you can remember, we all knew at that time, everybody knew it was Ole. He got the wrong formation, and it happened again. It happened again. Whenever he needs to deliver to sorry whenever he needs to deliver to go to the next round of a competition, the rubber meets the road, he always falls. He always falls on his face. And now for all you fans that doubt Paul Pogba's ability, where are you now? Because Paul Pogba changed that game for us. If it weren't for Paul Pogba, we were never going to even score 2 goals. He came on and he changed the game for us, and he was our best player. Now, I said in my previous video, I want Paul Pogba to leave because of his disrespect for the club and because of my love for him as a player. He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve to be playing Europa football. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. Now you wonder why he wants to leave Manchester United. You wonder why. Yes, he's going about it in the wrong way, but I do not hold anything against him for wanting to leave Manchester United. I do not hold it, because Manchester United are fooling around. They're not serious. If they were serious, they would sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now. But guess what? They will never do that. They're not serious. I don't blame Paul Pogba for not wanting to play under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He wanting to play under Zidane. I don't blame him. Ole is a poor excuse for a manager. This result was solely down to Ole making the mistakes that he made. Formation was wrong. Substitutions were wrong. Tactics were wrong. We got outplayed by a team that we've spent much more money. A team that is recently built. We got outplayed against that team. Unacceptable. I want this manager sacked. I want him sacked. Come end of the season, he needs to get sacked. I'm sorry, but he needs to get sacked for the money that he spent for us to go out in the round of 16. And we go out because of him choosing the wrong formation, because of him not having a style of play. Get out our club. I'm sorry guys, but I'm fuming. I'm fuming because of the novice that we have at Manchester United. The novice. Did you see him on the touchline? Standing on the touchline there, Nagelsmann was winning, mind you. He was winning 2-0. Nagelsmann was standing on the touchline, screaming at Angelino, telling Angelino, when Wan-Bissaka goes forward, go into the space that Wan-Bissaka's leaving behind. He was screaming that. The commentator translated his German, he translated Nagelsmann's home language Nagelsmann's home language to English and said that was what Nagelsmann was shouting. You could hear Nagelsmann shouting. Only we losing 2-0, only standing on a touchline doing this. Doing that. Pointing like that. Not saying a word, mumbling to himself, pointing like this. No clue what to do. No clue how to change the game. Brought Donny van de Beek on. Made Donny van de Beek. I don't even know what formation we were playing. I don't even know. Just brought Donny van de Beek on and play where you want to play. That's what it was. I want this manager sacked, guys. I'm tired. I'm tired of this here. We are not going forward. Why must he stay when we can all see we will not win silverware? You need to take your emotion out of it and think with your head clearly and look at the stone cold facts that we got kicked out, knocked out of the Champions League in the group stages after all the money that we spent. Don't even get me started when I talk about Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, 85 million. And you saw the third goal. He looked at the ball cross him. He looked at the ball coming past him. And we paid 85 million for that guy. We got robbed in broad daylight. He's an average defender. I used to say he was a good defender. He's not a good defender. He's an average defender. And we broke the record fee for a defender on him. And that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He wanted Harry Maguire for 85 million. He wanted that. It's time we hold Ole accountable for what he needs to be held accountable for. Buying Donny van de Beek when there's no place for Donny to play. Where we needed a CDM more than we needed a squad number 10 player. We needed a CDM. That's why Ole can't play Donny right now. Because Ole bought Donny as a squad player for Bruno. But we're crying out for a CDM. So instead of buying Donny, we should have bought a CDM. That's the manager we have. So guys, this is my review. I'll speak more on the situation when my head calms down. Smash the like on the video. Get the subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe guys. I'll see you later on in the week when my head cools down.